and welcome back. So I want to talk just a little bit about Shakespeare and Shakespeare's language. So I've posted a sort of handout PDF that Utah Shakespeare Festival puts out, but what's nice about this handout is that some of the examples are taken directly from A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is the play that we're looking at this week. So one of the things about Shakespeare that's so interesting is that directors can stage Shakespeare in so many different kinds of ways through applying different directorial concepts or by staging it in a contemporary manner or even futuristic. There's a recent production of A Midsummer Night's Dream at the Globe that cast all different types of individuals in roles that one might say was casting against the type. So this is the beauty of Shakespeare, is that it has survived all of these years, and we continue to produce Shakespeare because the stories themselves are so powerful, but really it's very much open to interpretation. I have seen some Shakespeare productions that were pretty bad in terms of the directorial concept and then thus the execution of it, where it just didn't work. And so that certainly happens too. But it's still pretty exciting to read a play by Shakespeare and to envision all the different ways that it could be produced. So one of the interesting things about Shakespeare is actually the language itself, because in the Elizabethan era, the play did not center around spectacle. Today we're used to going to see a show that might have amazing scenery that flies on and off, or hydraulic platforms that either come up out of the stage floor, or projections that create layers. So we're sort of used to this idea of spectacle, and in Shakespeare's time, really, the language was the spectacle. So that emphasis on language is why, one, everybody talks so much, because they have to describe everything that is happening. And so Shakespeare used so many poetic devices, whether or not he would use metaphor or simile or all kinds of imagery to help both comment and reinforce what a character is saying and doing and wanting. And so in Midsummer, we have the use of both prose, which is considered a sort of everyday language, that there's no meter, no rhyme to it, and typically ordinary, lower class people use prose in Shakespeare's plays, sometimes even nefarious characters like murderers. But in Midsummer, it would be important for you to identify who is speaking in prose in this play. And then we have verse, and in Shakespeare's plays, he mostly used blank verse. However, in Midsummer, there's verse, there's blank verse, and then there's other kinds of verse, and it's specific to the characters. So we have the nobility, Theseus and Hippolyta, as well as the young lovers, all speaking in blank verse. And then we have the fairies, and we have them speaking in a different kind of verse with rhyming couplets with different number of syllables. So Shakespeare very specifically uses different kinds of meter for different kinds of characters. So blank verse is what we're mostly used to, the iambic pentameter, which is a unstressed stress, unstressed stress, unstressed stress, unstressed stress, unstressed stress formulation. So you have 5 counts of 2 or 5 feet, making a total of 10 syllables. And it's fun to sort of see where Shakespeare doesn't quite work out the 10 syllables, and so he truncates a word or only uses part of it. And so for the actor, that's part of their job, is to decipher, oh, there's only half a word here and it really is this full word. And in order to make the meter work correctly, Shakespeare's done that to create the 10 syllables, or to stress it correctly. Obviously, there are exceptions to his rules, and Shakespeare certainly does that. And plays like Macbeth, it's quite interesting to see the psychology of a character develop, because they might start with iambic pentameter and then move to prose. Or if they are otherworldly or magical, they might always speak in a different meter with rhyme. So all of these elements indicate who a character is, as well as sometimes their status and their state of mind. So go ahead and take a look at that handout, and it gives those examples. And I've given you a couple different versions of Midsummer Night's Dream, Peter Brooks, just some scenes from it, as well as the full version from this 1981 BBC version. And there's another version that was recently produced by the BBC, shot in, I think, either New Zealand or Australia, that is pretty fantastical. I don't have a copy of that, but I might be able to find some clips, and I'll post that. So enjoy, and I will talk to you soon.